Have you ever felt helpless and hurt when your child behaves disrespectfully? Despite all the love and sacrifices you've given them, you're not alone. This is a challenge many parents face today, especially as their children grow older and relationships become distant or strained. But things can change. In this video, we'll share a simple yet powerful 6-step method to help you not only resolve conflicts, but also rebuild your relationship with your child on a foundation of respect and understanding. Remember, the struggles you face now don't have to be the end. They can be an opportunity for you and your child to discover a deeper, more meaningful connection. If you want to join us on this journey to raising children and building stronger family bonds, don't forget to hit the subscribe button today. Let's turn challenges into opportunities and create a family filled with love and understanding. Step 1. Keep your cool. When grown children act disrespectfully or respond negatively, it's natural to feel disappointed, hurt, or even angry. But reacting right away, especially in anger, rarely leads to anything positive and can actually drive a wedge between you and your child. Staying calm doesn't mean you ignore your feelings. Instead, it means choosing a thoughtful response that's productive and helpful. Picture this: your child, who's busy and rarely visits, managed to carve out some time to be with the family this weekend. During a family meal, you gently ask if they could stay a bit longer to help organize some things you can't quite manage anymore. Rather than agreeing, they respond with frustration. Mom/Dad, I'm really busy. Every time I come over, there's something else you want me to do. Your first reaction might be hurt or even frustration at their lack of empathy. But instead of snapping back, you pause, take a deep breath, and choose to keep your cool. Rather than reacting in frustration, you approach the situation with patience and understanding. You could say, I get that you're super busy and have a lot going on. I just thought I'd ask in case you had a little extra time. If this weekend isn't good, I can wait for another time. It would mean a lot to me if you could help when you have the chance. By responding this way, you not only avoid tension, but also show that you understand and respect their busy schedule. Instead of pushing, you give them room to help on their own terms, and they might think it over and find time to lend a hand when it works for them. This calm, empathetic approach not only diffuses the immediate tension, but also communicates essential values: respect, understanding, and patience in communication. These values form the foundation of a lasting, positive relationship with your adult children and create a family environment where listening and empathy come first. Step 2. Model the behavior you want to see. As your children become adults, they take in more than just your advice. They notice your actions closely. To receive the respect and understanding you hope for, it's essential to live out these values in your actions, words, and attitudes. If you want your child to treat you with respect and kindness, start by showing these qualities to them, even in tough moments. If you want them to listen attentively, begin by truly listening when they talk, showing that you value their thoughts and feelings. A great example from American history is President George Washington. Washington wasn't just a strong leader, he was also a devoted father figure to those around him, especially his stepson, John Parke Custis. Washington lived by the values he hoped to teach: integrity, patience, and honesty throughout his life. Whether leading an army or serving as president, he handled himself with honor and patience, even when the stakes were high. He often reminded his children about the importance of honor and responsibility. But what made these values really stick was that he lived them every day. Like Washington, when parents lead by example, they pass on lasting values to their adult children. Even after growing up, your kids continue to learn from how you handle life's challenges, deal with conflict, and treat others. By approaching life with patience and a positive outlook, you create a lasting impact, leaving behind a legacy of love and respect that speaks louder than words. Step 3. Respect boundaries, both yours and theirs. Healthy boundaries are essential in any relationship, including the relationship between parents and their adult children. Just as you wouldn't expect your grown kids to show up at your door unannounced, unless it's a special surprise, it's equally important to respect their privacy. Even if you have a key or access to their home, remember that their personal space is sacred. Try to avoid stepping into their family conversations or conflicts unless they specifically ask for your input. Trust that if your child wants your advice, they will come to you. Maintaining this boundary not only demonstrates respect, but also allows your adult children the space to develop and maintain their own relationships, fostering closeness between generations based on mutual respect. Step 4. Show patience and understanding. Showing patience as a parent, especially with adult children, is an art. It's about looking beyond disagreements and immediate reactions to understand what they're truly going through. Patience doesn't mean being permissive or ignoring mistakes, but rather creating an atmosphere where your child feels unconditionally accepted, even when they stumble. This sense of acceptance from you can be like an anchor, giving them a safe place to steady themselves when life becomes unpredictable. Patience involves listening openly and putting yourself in their shoes, recognizing that their struggles, pressures, and imperfections are simply part of life. It means acknowledging that, like everyone else, your children need space to try and fail, to experience life, and to learn from their own mistakes. Patience allows you to avoid judging or labeling them for impulsive actions and to see these moments as part of their growth. By being patient, you give your child the room to reflect on themselves without the burden of criticism or disappointment. They'll feel loved and accepted, not pressured to meet any standards. This unconditional love fosters a relationship where they feel confident coming to you for advice, knowing you're there to lift them up, not judge them. Patience teaches your child the value of forgiveness and kindness, not just for others, but for themselves. It helps them face their own mistakes with maturity and reminds them that life isn't always perfect. But love and forgiveness provide the strength to overcome any challenge. Through this patience, your bond with your child deepens, leaving a lasting legacy of love in both of your hearts. Step 5. Accept disagreements and discuss respectfully. Disagreements are a natural part of any relationship, and with adult children, these differences can sometimes feel more complicated. Parents may feel their opinion should have the final say, or that their perspective must be right. However, as psychologist John Gottman has noted, the key isn't whether you disagree, but how you handle those disagreements. Expressing a difference in opinion isn't a sign of disrespect as long as it's done with courtesy and respect. When both you and your child are adults, expecting total agreement isn't realistic, since everyone has their own values and experiences. In any mature conversation, expecting absolute agreement is unrealistic. Each person brings unique life experiences and values to the table. When faced with these differences, the most valuable approach is to listen and accept. Respectful debates not only deepen relationships, but also show growth on both sides. Over time, embracing these differences strengthens the bond between you and your adult children, fostering understanding, acknowledgement, and mutual respect. Step 6. Don't offer advice unless asked. This is a crucial rule when interacting with adult children. It can be hard to hold back, especially when you think they're making a mistake. Whether it's a decision about buying a home or choosing a career path, try to resist giving unsolicited advice unless they genuinely seek it. For instance, my daughter lives in a 5th-floor apartment with no elevator, a choice I'd never make myself, but she loves it. Rather than offering negative comments, I focus on what she loves about her place. After all, I'm not the one living there. What matters most is that she's happy with her decision. This can be especially tough when you see your child making financial decisions you believe are unwise. But remember, they're adults, and sometimes they need to learn from experience. And if your unsolicited advice goes ignored, don't take it personally. That's just part of being an adult. If your child does ask for your opinion, don't be surprised if they don't always welcome your thoughts. Disagreement is normal among adults, no matter the outcome. Remember that not being listened to doesn't mean they're rejecting you personally. It's simply a difference in perspective. Being a parent to an adult child, embracing change and flexibility. Parenting an adult child comes with its own unique challenges. For parents used to holding authority, adjusting to a new dynamic can feel difficult, especially as you navigate relationships with other people in your child's life. You may not always be thrilled with your child's partner, but unless they're causing harm, Patience and silence are often the best approach. The harder you try to control everything, the more difficult things can get. The more rigid your expectations for your relationship with your adult child, the more challenges you may face. Flexibility here doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting everything unconditionally. It's about adapting and recognizing that your child is also navigating their own path in life. Parenting never truly ends, but your role will continue to change. The key is to maintain respect, understanding, and adaptability, fostering a strong relationship in which both generations can grow together. By being flexible and respecting your adult child's independent choices, you not only preserve harmony but also leave a legacy of love and wisdom in your journey as a parent. If you're still watching, please leave a comment below to share your thoughts or your own story. I'd love to hear about your experiences on this parenting journey. In the next part, we'll dive into how to handle the emotional and practical challenges of an adult child moving back in with you, a journey full of emotions and adjustments. In recent years, many older parents in the U.S. have seen their adult children returning to live at home. If you're in this situation, you might find some of your own story here. You raised them, watched them grow up, and saw them become independent. Then, suddenly, for reasons beyond anyone's control, they come back, bringing with them a mix of baggage, worries, and uncertainties that come with adult life. Take Sarah in New York. For example, her son Adam had finished college, lived independently for a few years, but then had to move back in with her after losing his job during an economic downturn. Sarah, like any parent, welcomed him with open arms, wanting to support him through a rough time. But she soon found that living together again came with its own set of challenges. Adam was no longer the young boy she raised, but a grown man with his own habits and needs. Their relationship, though still filled with love, now had layers of tension that weren't there before. This dynamic isn't unique to Sarah's family. The trend of boomerang kids, grown children returning to live with their parents, is now common in the U.S. Economic pressures, relationship issues, and the job market have left many young adults with few options other than returning to the safety of home. While this can bring families closer together, it also requires both generations to adjust in ways that aren't always easy. Sarah's story is not unique. The phenomenon of adult children moving back in with their parents has become so common that they're often called boomerang kids, grown children who, after moving out, return to live at home. You may have seen or heard about this happening around you, or perhaps you're experiencing it firsthand. Factors like the COVID-19 pandemic, economic pressures, or even divorces have left many young people with no other option but to return to the safety and stability of their parents' home, finding emotional support and a stable environment they might struggle to find elsewhere. This situation, while offering families a chance to bond more closely, is also a source of conflict. For parents like you, having your child move back in is both a joy and a challenge. Both generations have grown accustomed to living independently, and adjusting to a shared life again can bring its own set of hurdles. Reasons adult children move back home. There are many reasons why adult children move back home, and it's easy to empathize with their situations. The COVID-19 pandemic was one of the most impactful events, affecting the global economy on an unprecedented scale. Millions lost jobs, and even those who stayed employed faced uncertain futures. Many young people who once lived independently now found themselves struggling to get by and ultimately turned to family for financial relief. In addition to job insecurity, high living costs and skyrocketing housing prices have made maintaining an independent life extremely challenging. You may see this firsthand. No matter how much your child may want to continue living on their own, sometimes circumstances leave them no choice but to come back home. Financial issues aren't the only cause. Personal struggles, too, can play a part. Take James, a 35-year-old from California, who moved back in with his parents after an 8-year marriage ended in divorce. For James, coming back home wasn't just a financial decision. It was a way to find a safe place to recover and regain stability without additional pressures. When your child returns home, you may realize it's not just about a change of living arrangements. It's a journey for both generations, requiring each person to adapt, adjust, and find common ground, whether it's due to job loss, divorce, or financial pressures. Every child returning home brings their own story. And for you, the parent who has been a steady source of support all their life, this journey will call for patience, empathy, and understanding as you help your child navigate through it. Challenges of living together. Living with your adult child can be a source of joy and closeness, but it can also create tension due to differences in lifestyles, routines, and viewpoints. After becoming used to a quieter, more predictable life, adjusting your space and routines to accommodate an adult child can sometimes feel challenging. Here are a few common issues both sides may face. Loss of personal freedom. For young adults who are used to living independently, moving back home can feel like a loss of freedom. Both of you have developed your own routines and habits, and sharing space again can lead to inevitable clashes. There may be times when you crave your usual peace and quiet, yet find your child's energy and lifestyle bringing noise and change into your previously private space. Financial strain. While having your child move back home may help them save money, it can place additional financial strain on you. Household expenses like utilities, groceries, and water bills may increase. And if you're retired or have a limited income, this can make things more challenging. You may want to offer extra financial support to help them through a tough time, but the added burden could raise concerns about your own stability. Clashes over roles and authority. Your grown children are no longer the kids they once were. They have their own ideas, ways of doing things, and values. Yet living under the same roof can sometimes create overlapping roles, leading to authority struggles as each side holds different views on managing daily life. While you might hope they follow certain rules or respect your way of doing things at home, they may feel that, as adults, they no longer need much direction. This tension can quickly turn into unnecessary conflict and stress. By acknowledging these realities, both you and your child can find ways to navigate the challenges of living together with understanding, respect, and flexibility. Lack of clear boundaries. When two generations share the same home, a lack of boundaries around space, time, and responsibilities can lead to complicated dynamics. You may feel a lingering sense of responsibility to manage the household and take care of everything, but this might make your child feel controlled, taking away their sense of autonomy. On the other hand, your child may want the freedom to live without family rules, but also needs to respect your personal space. This blurred line of boundaries can lead to conflicts over personal space, schedules, and roles, creating tension and discomfort for both sides. These issues are not easy to resolve, as everyone has their own habits and way of life. However, with mutual understanding and a willingness to adjust, both generations can find a way to create a more harmonious living environment. Principles for living together harmoniously. To make living together with your adult child smoother and more harmonious, both you and your child will need understanding and flexibility. Here are some principles that can help establish a respectful and comfortable living space for both sides. 1. Establish clear boundaries around space and time. Start by defining separate spaces so both you and your child can enjoy the privacy you need. This could be a room or a quiet corner for each person. You can also agree on certain times of the day that should be quiet. This helps everyone feel comfortable without worrying about personal space being invaded and respects each generation's personal rhythm. 2. Discuss financial contributions and household responsibilities. While moving back in may be to support your child through a tough time, clearly establishing financial contributions can help ease your burden and give your child a sense of responsibility. Have an open discussion about shared costs, such as utilities, groceries, and how they can contribute within their means. This not only balances finances, but also helps them understand the value of shared responsibilities within the family. 3. Respect each other's independence and individual perspectives. Both you and your child have your own lifestyles and viewpoints. Allow your child the freedom to make their own decisions, even if they aren't what you would choose. Respecting their independence also means letting them learn, face challenges, and sometimes make mistakes. Conversely, your child should recognize that this is your home and respect the family rules. Mutual respect strengthens family relationships and fosters a warm connection. 4. Maintain open and honest communication. Regular, clear, And open communication is key to avoiding conflicts. When any issue or change arises, talk with your child in a straightforward way and encourage them to do the same. Listening to what your child wants to share and resolving small conflicts early helps maintain harmony in the household. 5. Show patience and understanding. Living together will occasionally lead to uncomfortable situations or disagreements. Practice patience and be willing to let go of small annoyances. Patience allows you to see things from your child's perspective, encouraging them to do the same. This understanding helps create a relaxed atmosphere, bringing warmth and ease to family relationships. 6. Stay flexible with expectations and lifestyles. Living together often means adjusting expectations from both sides. If you're too rigid about how things should be or how your child should behave, it can make cohabitation challenging. Try to be flexible and open to change, understanding that each generation has its way of adapting to shared living. These principles may not always be easy to follow, but with respect and communication, you and your child can build a harmonious home. Living together, instead of a source of tension, can become a chance for your family to grow closer and support each other through life's challenging phases. The reality and social value of the boomerang trend. Seeing your grown child move back in can be a mix of joy and worry. There's the happiness of having more laughter at home and more shared meals. But there's also the reality of readjusting to a different routine and perhaps even the financial or emotional challenges that you thought were behind you. At times like this, you might wonder, why is my child, after becoming independent, coming back home? The answer lies beyond your child's individual decision. The trend of boomerang kids, grown children returning to live with their parents, has become a reality in today's society. It signals that economic pressures, job instability, and life's challenges have made it difficult for many young people to stay self-sufficient. When the cost of living is high, job opportunities are limited, and life becomes tougher, many seek the refuge of family as a way to lighten their load. On a positive note, having your child move back can be an opportunity for both generations to understand each other more deeply. You may get to hear more about their lives, their challenges, hopes, and even their mistakes as they navigate adulthood. Meanwhile, your child can come to understand your life better too, learning about the sacrifices and hard work you've put in. This living arrangement can make family bonds stronger and provide comfort for both generations in tough times. Yet, this return also highlights the challenges of our era. The struggle for independence among young adults isn't just a personal matter, but reflects the societal and economic pressures they face. Sometimes, this may cause you concern about their future and whether life will become easier for them. Living together doesn't mean your child has failed. Sometimes, it's just their way of adapting to a tough situation, with you being the supportive anchor they need right now. Although it may be challenging, remember that this is also a chance for both you and your child to grow in understanding and love. Sometimes, they need to witness your patience and resilience to use it as a guide in their own path to maturity, building a harmonious life together. Living with an adult child brings its own unique range of emotions. To make this experience positive, both you and your child need to approach it with flexibility, empathy, and mutual respect. By establishing clear principles, maintaining honest communication, and being open to change, you and your child can create a warm, enjoyable space for everyone. Family isn't just a support system for each person. It's a place where every member can face challenges together. When you and your child both learn to embrace and appreciate each other, your family will truly be a place of safety and love, no matter how hard life gets outside. If you found these insights helpful, consider subscribing to the channel for more valuable discussions. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to sharing more with you soon.